Well, Jimmy Butler has finally got traded and is to the Golden State Warriors. Man, I was like, when I saw that, I mean, of course, I wasn't as shocked Luke getting traded to the Lakers, but man, this was still quite a surprise. So if you haven't heard, Warriors received Jimmy Butler, the Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, the Warriors 2025 first-round pick with top 10 protection, and the Utah Jazz received Dennis Schroeder, the Detroit Pistons received Lindy Waters III, and Josh Richardson. So, pretty big deal. So, let's talk about the Warriors first. The Warriors have kind of been in a pretty weird spot, right? They started off the season so hot, but they've really slowed down, and now the Warriors are just kind of mid. I mean, they're the 10th seed in the Western Conference, 25-24, and when you have someone as good as Steph Curry, who isn't getting any younger, you gotta make a move. And then, I mean, Jimmy Butler is an amazing player. We know how good Jimmy Butler is. Yes, in the regular season, he kind of coasts. His scoring, overall, his stats aren't that good, but we know how good Jimmy Butler is. Just talking about his tenure with the Heat, first of all, Jimmy Butler in the Heat, that was quite an era. I still remember in 2019 when he went there, people really doubted what this team could do, but 2 NBA Finals, pretty much beat the Boston Celtics a couple times, the only team to beat them in the Eastern Conference. This team was legit. Even on paper, they didn't have, on quote-unquote, the best team on paper. They still were able to get wins, and a huge part of that was because of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a playoff player. I mean, he has the game. He remembers how to shoot threes in the playoffs. He can drive in, he can play make, and Jimmy Butler is just a winner. And of course, 2 years ago he made it to the finals, lost to the Nuggets, but carried them as an 8th seed all the way to the finals. That's absolutely incredible. Yes, Jimmy Butler's 34, 35, but Jimmy Butler still has that dog in him. And yeah, it's not good that this has been Jimmy's fifth team, and every single time he's left the team, let's think about it. The Bulls didn't leave on very good terms. The Wolves definitely did not leave on good terms. The Sixers, that whole fallout with the whole Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler thing, that wasn't on good terms. And Jimmy Butler with the Heat now, Jimmy Butler wanted to get out, and it was kind of crazy. He had all the power. He said, no, I don't want to go to Memphis. No, I don't want to go to Houston. I only want to go to the Suns or the Warriors. And that's kind of crazy that Jimmy had that power. I would have thought that Pat Riley was like, oh, I don't care, I'm just getting the best offer. And honestly, if we move, we'll talk more about the Warriors. With the Heat side, I mean, it's not, yes, Jimmy Butler is a better player than Andrew Wiggins, but Andrew Wiggins is younger. He fits more on the timeline. He's gonna actually commit to what they want to. Andrew Wiggins is still a great player. Sure, he's had some personal issues. Sure, he isn't playoff Jimmy Butler, but he's younger. He's still a first overall pick. He still has all the natural gifts on both ends. And honestly, I can see Andrew Wiggins thriving with the Heat. There was a lot of mentality questions with him on the Wolves, and now with the Warriors, he proved that, okay, I can be an all-star. I can be an all-star starter. I can be one of the best players on a championship team. Andrew Wiggins has really proven himself, and now in this new situation, I think Andrew Wiggins can be honestly really solid. Wiggins is averaging 18 points. He's a good rebounder, a good defender. It's not like the Heat are getting no one. Wiggins is still a solid player. Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, they can probably flip them. So maybe they can get maybe a young player. If they get a couple second-round picks, a first-round pick, they get a Warriors 2025 first-round pick. I mean, we'll see how that turns out. I'm going to assume the Warriors are going to be better with this deal, because now, Jimmy Butler that goes back to the Jimmy Butler, not really trying as much in the regular season, but you of course have to try enough to make it to the playoffs. So Jimmy Butler knows that, but man, it's quite an interesting deal. If we go on the court with the Warriors, Jimmy Butler in that whole motion offense of the Warriors seems, people thought Wiggins wouldn't fit, and Wiggins is a better shooter than Jimmy Butler for sure, but Jimmy's a better slasher, he's a better mid-range scorer, so I think they can work it in. Klay Thompson's gone, I don't think they're really have the personnel to run that full 2018 Warriors motion offense, but still, you have Jimmy Butler, you have the star power. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, you have Steph Curry, of course, you have Paul. Yes, it isn't a great championship contender team, but it's a team that's definitely more scary now. Like, they did lose quite a bit of depth though. Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, 3 rotational players, and they already have quite a deep team. I remember at the start of the season they had pretty much a 12-man rotation, but you have, I mean, you have Buddy Hield, if you remember how to shoot, you have Kevon Looney, you have Gary Payton, you have still Kuminga's coming back soon, you have Moses Moody still, so it's kind of going back to that, oh, trusting the young guys, trusting that they're going to at least put in some development. I mean, I think Kuminga's a great player. Moses Moody, could be a little bit lackluster, but I mean, the Warriors, they wanted to make a move. They knew that the team they had right now was not going to win a championship, and they knew that the team that they have right now wasn't satisfying Steph Curry, so definitely making this aggressive move. I mean, I also heard the report that they were going for Kevin Durant. I mean, that would have been crazy. I don't know if they even had the assets to get Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant shot that down. He wants to stay with the Suns, and I mean, the Suns, I don't know what they're going to do anymore. They really wanted Jimmy Butler. They're lost to the Blazers 2 games in a row. Like, you can't be doing that if you want to be a championship contender. But I mean, if we compare this Warriors team to other championship teams, I mean, the Thunder, I would still take over them. Even a team like the Grizzlies. I mean, I guess the Grizzlies, you still don't know what to expect that much out of the Grizzlies. But if Jaren Jackson's going to play this way, definitely a team to be worried about. The Nuggets, like, can they really stop the Nuggets in a 7-game series? I'm not sure. The Rockets, I mean, the Rockets kind of, I mean, they've been on a 4-game losing streak. Rockets have kind of course, they don't have that superstar player, so I can see them beating the Rockets. The Lakers, I mean, who the hell knows what's going on with Luka with them? So, like, there's such a wild card too, but the main thing is that they made a move. They made something that is going to make at least Steph Curry satisfied, showing that they're trying to be aggressive. This whole 2 timeline thing has always, like, not really worked out for them, and I think fully committing to, when you have Steph Curry, arguably the greatest point guard of all time on a roster, I think he's second. You can debate that in the comment section, but when you have a player as good as Steph Curry, you gotta do whatever you can to make sure that he has the personnel to win. And Jimmy Butler is a player that we know is a superstar caliber player who has led his team to the finals already. And sure, he's old. Sure, he's been disgruntled with every single team he's been on, and that's led to his departure. But they also got him to a big extension. I mean, that's a lot of money. 2-year, like, what, 100 something million? Like, that's a lot of money for Jimmy Butler. But you know, if it's not that 4-year deal, so honestly, I think it's fine. Jimmy Butler is going to be good for the next couple of years, so I'm not expecting a big regression out of Jimmy. But I mean, I'm glad the Warriors are being aggressive. I would say for the Heat, I mean, getting Wiggins fits the timeline more. He's younger, he wants to be there. At least they got a first-round pick, so it's not like they got totally finessed like they got. But man, I mean, Jimmy Butler, that was quite the era. Like, Jimmy Butler in the Heat, that's something that's not gonna get, I mean, I think it might get lost in history, but that's something I'm personally not gonna forget about. Like, how far this team got, even with all them not having the greatest roster. Like, put on paper, that Sixers team should have beat them in 2021. That Celtics team 2 years should have beat them. Like, but even with that, this team still was there. And for the Heat, I mean, Tyler Hero wasn't really good. You still got Bam Adebayo. You still got Jaime Hawkins. You got Andrew Wiggins there now. So it's still a solid team, but you don't got a superstar anymore. So honestly, I don't think it's a bad trade for the Heat. Like, sure, maybe you hoped, like, out of your star player you could have got more, but like, he was already a free agent. He wasn't going to resign. At least you got Andrew Wiggins, who's a solid player, first-round pick, a couple other assets that you could potentially flip. So I think I'm really interested to see how this gamble works for the Warriors. Is this going to push them over the top? Will this allow them to be one of the top teams of the West? We will see. So thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.